I always tell people the moment that you're looking for with any client is for them to go, huh,
Right.
I hadn't thought of that. Once you have that,
Right.
all of a sudden, the power dynamic kind of shifts,
Right.
and they realize that you are going to be additive to the situation, and they should want to work with you because you can help make this thing go smarter, smoother, faster, whatever it
Yeah.
is. So
I want the blogs to actually mean something, to add value, to not just be loaded with keywords for SEO. Like, it hurts me to go see that on our website, admittedly, where I'm like, no one's going to read this blog and get a ton of value and information out of this. And I really want to start doing better there and not just focus on just SEO and AI and really put out some good information. And a lot of that comes with like this podcast, the interviews, and some other stuff we're doing on social media, some other ebooks that we're looking at putting out, stuff like that. We really want to get, like, the blogs need to follow suit and stop being so keyword heavy and start being actual readable, useful information.
Yeah,
I think that'll serve us in the long run.
But I think anything that has to do with, helping people who aren't familiar, or just, or neophytes or whatever, hear these things, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay,
Right.
I want to work with that person. They
Right.
know what's going on. And I just think, to me, any form of good content educates and it differentiates.
Right.
So that's, it's funny, like, one of the things that typically I'll go back and look at is if somebody asks a question and, you end up with one of those, like, 300 to 400 word kind of email responses back to them. There's your blog, right? Or there should be your podcast, or whatever it is. If you've already explained a complex topic, odds are if that person had a question, there's another 100 people that have the same version of that question, or slightly different version of that question. Just turn it into a blog. And I can't tell you the number of times that, like, what really hit me was, we had a client, it was at the Emmerich Flats, and, a guy called on the sign, and, I'm showing him a unit, and he's, kind of one word answering me, obviously just not engaging. So I just kind of stepped back, and I'm like, that's fine. And we got done. And I said, look, whether you like this or not, you need somebody to represent you. I said, why don't you Google me and, see what you see. And if you think that we would work well together, I'd love to help you. He called me the next day and called me sir. I'm like, so he'd read an article and was like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about.
And you just got instant credibility.
So, exactly. It's a street cred. So I can't tell you the number of times I've just sent an article to somebody and just said, hey, and all of a sudden, you're the subject matter expertise person. And again, it elevates your status in their mind, because now they can vet that you actually do know what you're talking about. And all of a sudden, the questions go from, kind of veiled ways of trying to tease the information out of you without letting anything on to, okay, help me with this, right? And so I always tell people the moment that you're looking for with any client is for them to go, huh,
Right.
I hadn't thought of that. Once you have that, all of a sudden, the power dynamic kind of shifts, and they realize that you are going to be additive to the situation, and they should want to work with you because you could help make this thing go smarter, smoother, faster, whatever it is. So
yeah, it is quite the light bulb moment when people realize that you actually can help and add value and know what you're talking about and have some sort of credibility. Or that could be because you know someone, you have mutual friends, like you're in some sort of group or network, or you have different licenses, or you have, you own the company versus work for the company, or anything like that, for whether that's right or wrong.